Hello everyone. Let's start for isometric view problem number 3. Now here in the problem number 3 you can see again there are two views given. So we can see here that this is the top view, the bottom one is the top view, and the view above it is the front view. Again here the origin is not given. We are supposed to find the origin. Possibilities are on the left side or on the right side. If we keep the origin on the left side, you can see here this rib, this front rib will be visible, as well as this circle will also be visible. On the back side there is almost nothing, so this is kind of visible. If we take it from here, then due to this cylindrical object, this rib may not visible, or it may be very slightly visible. Once we have found the maximum length, width and height, let's draw the isometric cuboid of the given length, width and height. For that, draw the horizontal line and mark the origin point. From that origin point, we must mark the three axes. One will be perpendicular from that point. This is my origin O. Another two will be at angle of 30 degree. I have already marked over here, so I am drawing it directly at an angle of 30 degree. Now the next task is to find on which side we should mark the length, this side or this side. Again, we can see from this origin the length is going towards the right side. So from origin, mark the length toward the right side. The given length is 80 mm. Okay, so here is the 80 mm. Again, on height is always marked on the vertical line. So here is the height, that is 50 mm. Okay, and the last one is the width. Obviously, the width will be on the remaining third axis, and the remaining third axis, the distance given as 50 mm. Now from this, let's complete one of the face. I'm completing this one. So from this point, draw the height of 50 mm, which will be parallel to the height, this height. Similarly, then now join the top of the two heights. Similarly, complete the another face of the cuboid. From this end point, draw the line which will be parallel to the height and of distance 50 mm, and then join the top of the both heights. In this manner, you will get the another surface. Now the surface remaining is the top view. For top view, from here you can see there is a height, there is a width, but length is still remaining. So draw a line which will be parallel to the length, and again with a dimension of 80 mm. Then join the another part and check whether it is 50 mm or not, that is equal to the length of distance of the width. Then from here, draw the vertical line, or you can say the line parallel to the height, and again with the same distance. Then from this end point, join the two lines of the bottom face. So this is my bottom face, this is the back side. Okay, once we have completed the box, let's move to the question again. Here I'm again starting from the front view. We can first find the closed diagram which do not have any visible line in between it. So you can see this is one of the closed part, this is the another closed part, and this is the another closed part, third closed part. If we observe each of this part in this one, you can think that this part is basically this rectangle which is at the base. So we can complete that because it is completely extended along the width. So let's see what is the dimension of this rectangle. It is by height 10 mm and by length 80 mm. So draw a draw this rectangle on the face of the front view, 80 mm lengthwise and 10 mm along the height. So in this manner we have completed the front face of that rectangle. Now if we again put that rectangle over here, it is seen that it is extended along the width. Hence extend it along the width, and the width distance is again 50 mm, and it is seen here that it is completely extended till 50 mm. So let's extend the lines till 50 mm. Again we can draw the line from here, but it will be below this top surface, so that's why it will not be visible, hence I'm not drawing it. You don't have to draw that. Now complete the back face of that rectangle. In this manner you can complete that rectangular block. Now the next part we can see that this circular part, it is seen that it is a cylindrical one and it is starting from the top face. So let's go in the top face. First we need to find the center point of this circle in this top surface, so that we can draw the isometric circle over there. We can see here that the distance of this is okay, so it is 30 mm. So from the back side of the origin, here is the origin, and from the back side it is 30 mm. So from here 30 mm, this is my origin. So from the back side let's mark the 30 mm distance. So here is the 30 mm. Okay, so I think it is very faint. Okay, so this is how you have found the distance from the back side along the length. Now again along the width, it is exactly at the middle point, so you can find the midpoint of this line. This is 50 mm, so the midpoint is at the 25 mm. So let me draw that line of 25 mm. Yes, so somewhere here we have found the center point for that circle. Now to draw that circle, we have to prepare the rhombus which will be visible in the top view. So instead of this circle, let's consider that there is a rhombus of dimension 30 by 30, because the diameter here is 30 mm. Hence let's draw the rhombus of 30 by 30 mm with this point as a center for that rhombus. So 30 mm on the 15 mm on this side, 15 mm on this side, also 15 mm here and 15 mm on the other side. 15 mm here, 15 mm here, and again along this distance 15 mm here and 15 mm here. Now from all these 4 points, let's draw the rhombus which is of length 30 by 30 mm. So again from that point 15 mm on this side and 15 mm on the other side. Similarly here 15 mm on this side and 15 mm on the other side. Again for this one, you can actually simply join it, because automatically you will get that 30 mm. So in this manner you are supposed to prepare the rhombus of 30 by 30 mm. Now this is the small diagonal. These are the two end points of that smaller diagonal. Now from these two endpoints, join the opposite midpoint. For this point, these two are the opposite midpoints. So let me join those, this side as well as this other side, like this, here and here. So in this way we have taken the another point also and joined the opposite midpoint. Now we have got the four centers. First one is this, second is this, third is this cross intersection, and the fourth one is this one. Now taking all these points one by one as a center and distance up to these midpoints, opposite midpoints, as a radius, draw the arc. So this point as a center and up to midpoint as a radius, draw the arc. Similarly, this point as a center up to midpoint as a radius, draw the arc. So sorry, I missed it, like this. Again, now this point as a center and up to the midpoint as a radius, draw the arc. Similarly, from this point with this top point as a center and up to the midpoint as a radius, draw the arc. And in this manner we will get the isometric circle. Now once we have got the isometric circle, the next part remaining is this rib. Now this rib, you can see that it is starting from the midpoint of the width and going to end till it touches the tops, till it touches the circle. Now on the circle, again here from front view you can see that it is touching the top of the circle. So and the width of this rib is 10 mm, so 5 mm on this side and 5 mm on the other side. So let's find the midpoint of the width from where it is starting. It is starting after 10 mm, that means here. So let's find the midpoint of that. So here is my midpoint and I'm also marking 5 mm on either side. So I'll get these lines. Now similarly here, now join this midpoint and this point where the symmetric line is going to cut the object. Now draw a line parallel to this one from here, from this 5 mm as well as this other 5 mm till it touches the circle, like this, parallel to this symmetric line. These two lines should be parallel to this symmetric line. Now the next thing is that we must extend this top of this circle to the bottom side because it is going along the height. So we must shift the centers of this circle on the bottom side. Now the part, this is not actually a hole. When the hole is there, the inner part will be visible, and that part, the part which is visible, it will be away from the origin. As this is the cylinder, the part which is near the origin will be visible. Now let's draw the tangent to the circle. So we will understand that up to what distance or up to what distance, of course, the arc should be marked. Now as I said that which arc will be visible of this circle is the arc which is near to the origin. That means this arc will be visible to you. Now for this arc, the center is this one. So shift the center by 40 mm because it is a height of 40 mm. So I'm shifting the center by 40 mm. So here is the center point. Now with the new center but the old radius for the same arc, let's draw a arc to get the bottom of the cylinder. So with the old radius but the new center. Let's draw the arc. Let's extend this to the bottom side, so here it will end. Now the another thing is we must join this rib to the base, so draw the line along the height of 40 mm, because the height of the cylinder is 40 mm, or you can say height of that rib is 40 mm. So up to this, and like this one. So still the part here is remaining, so with the same radius let's complete the arc. Same radius, the new center, complete the arc. Now here you can see there is slight corner is visible over here, because you can see here whatever the center line is, there is an arc beyond it, and then the tangent is going to start. So we have to shift this center also below on the lower side. So let's shift the center on the lower side by again 40 mm distance. So here it is going to be 40 mm. I have just marked the point. Now with the old radius for that arc, which is visible, okay, draw a arc. So it is going to be very slightly visible. Now let me dark all the parts which will be actually visible, and then I will tell you how to give the dimensions. The part which is behind the cylinder will also not be visible, so I have hide it, and then finally give the overall dimension. So in this manner the problem is concluded. Thank you everyone.